Parliament as Operation Sindoor is going to be discussed in both the houses of Parliament. In the Lok Sabha, the discussion starts today. In the Rajya Sabha, the discussion starts tomorrow. Both houses will debate the issue for a full 16 hours. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will lead the discussion. There is a lot of speculation that Prime Minister Narendra Modi could also intervene in this discussion. Donald Trump's claims, over 24 times he has said that he played a role, America played a role through trade to bring India and Pakistan to the ceasefire table. India has strongly contested this. So in this particular parliament session, the claims of Mr. Trump, the so-called security intelligence failure in Pahalgam, and how much did India achieve during Operation Sindoor, all this is going to be on the table of discussion.
On Saturday, my administration helped broker a full and immediate ceasefire, I think a permanent one, between India and Pakistan, ending a dangerous conflict. If you stop it, we're doing trade. If you don't stop it, we're not going to do any trade.
Hello viewers, welcome to this week's homework. I am your host Aman Sharma, and we will discuss how big this discussion on Operation Sindoor is going to be in Parliament. Well, April 22nd is a very, very sombering day in India's history now, because April 22nd, 2025 is when terrorists attacked innocent tourists in Pahalgam, killing 26 of them in cold blood, and this was something that shook up India. India went into a huddle, its top leadership went into a huddle, and shortly, a fortnight later, we saw the Operation Sindoor of India start in Pakistan on May 7th. It went on for 4 days till May the 10th. First, India smashed the terrorism headquarters in Pakistan, be it Muradke, be it Bahawalpur of the Jaish-e-Mohammed, or be it Kotli. Indian missiles rained fire there and destroyed these terrorist headquarters. After that, on the morning of May 10, India launched an unprecedented attack at the air bases of Pakistan. You know, the Murid Air Base, the Rahim Yar Khan Air Base, the Noor Khan Air Base. Every air base of major air base of Pakistan saw big damage, and this is when Pakistan went running to the US and pleaded for a ceasefire, and then Pakistan calling up India and India agreeing to put a pause to Operation Sindoor. Mind you, the Operation Sindoor is still on. There is a pause to it because Pakistan asked for it, and Pakistan doesn't mend its ways, doesn't stop sponsoring terrorism into India. Operation Sindoor can start any point of time, and this is what the government could very, very clearly tell Parliament this time, that Operation Sindoor is only on a pause.
Operation Sindoor में भारत की सेना ने जो लक्ष्य निर्धारित किया था 100% अचीव किया.
Number two, the government would want to impress upon everybody very, very forcefully that India did not stop Operation Sindoor under the pressure of the US. We had this 35-minute long phone call between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump last month, where Prime Minister Modi made a very, very clear speak to Mr. Trump, telling him that at no point during the Indo-US discussions during Operation Sindoor did trade feature in any way, or did US played any mediation role. India completely denied it. In fact, the only conversation the Prime Minister had with the US was the US Vice President J.D. Vance calling up Prime Minister Narendra Modi on May 9th and telling him that Pakistan could take a very big step against India. On that also, Prime Minister Modi remained firm. He said if Pakistan takes a big step, India will reply with an even bigger step against Pakistan. And this is something that the government could very well tell Parliament officially that US had no role to play. We only stopped Operation Sindoor when the Pakistani DGMO called our DGMO on the afternoon on May 10th. It was decided to have a ceasefire till then. But Donald Trump's claims have been, drummed up by the opposition, especially the Congress party, to ask that why is Mr. Donald Trump said nearly over 25 times that it was his pressure and his bait through trade that he made India and Pakistan stop the hostilities that happened between May 7th and May 10th. India, of course, would want to walk the line very, very carefully, because it also doesn't want to offend the US too much by saying, that Donald Trump is completely lying. India has the US trade deal. It is going at a very fast pace. We could see the Indo-US trade deal being concluded in the next few weeks. So India would not like to upset the US as well greatly, but it would like to put the record straight in Parliament that the US had no role. Now, very importantly, who's going to speak from which side? it is very, very clear that Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is going to initiate the discussion in both the houses of Parliament, both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, because this was a military operation. So it is the Defence Minister who is supposed to lead the discussion in both the houses of Parliament. But there is talk that Prime Minister Narendra Modi could intervene in this discussion because the opposition has been demanding that Prime Minister Narendra Modi should be present in Parliament when Operation Sindoor is discussed and also speak on it, because opposition has host of questions. Mr. Trump's claims, the security intelligence failure which happened during the Pahalgam terror attack. The government has made it very clear. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju said it last week when he said the opposition cannot decide who will speak from the ruling party side, or the opposition cannot decide if the Prime Minister should speak or not. It is similar to the government not deciding who will be the speakers from the opposition side. So there is where it stands. We can expect S. Jaishankar, the External Affairs Minister, the Home Affairs Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, to also speak on Operation Sindoor inside the Parliament when the discussion starts. There is also talk that former Minister Anurag Thakur, MP from Jharkhand, Nishikant Dubey, these could be the speakers from the ruling side. We should also watch out for maybe women BJP MPs speaking on the occasion, because this was Operation Sindoor. This was done to avenge the treatment that was meted out to our women in Pahalgam, where their husbands, their brothers, their fathers, family members were shot down in cold blood. So some fiery speeches by women BJP MPs, women NDA MPs also cannot be ruled out. Also from the opposition side, we'll have Mallikarjun Kharge speaking, of course. We'll have the likes of Akhilesh Yadav speaking. We'll have to wait and see if Rahul Gandhi or Priyanka Gandhi speak on the occasion. There is no clarity yet on that. But it is very clear that it's going to be a fiery Parliament session, because the opposition has big questions. And interestingly, just before the session is coming, the Lieutenant General of JNK, Mr. Manoj Sinha, in an interview has conceded that there were security lapses in Pahalgam, intelligence lapses in Pahalgam, and he said, I take personal responsibility for these lapses. So this is also something that the opposition could latch upon, that why is the LG taking responsibility for the intelligence and security lapses in Pahalgam? Why isn't the government, the centre, taking responsibilities? Well, I can tell you that in earlier meetings with the opposition, top government functionaries did admit that of course there were security lapses, otherwise such a big incident, such a bigger terror incident in Pahalgam could not have happened. And there are lessons to be learned from here, that Pakistan continues to sponsor terrorism into India. But I think one point where the opposition is again and again harping that India should reveal what were its exact losses in Operation Sindoor in terms of air assets or otherwise. This could boomerang on the opposition, because the government is very clear that, in combat, yes, there are losses, and the CDS of India has earlier admitted that, yes, there were a few losses. But if the opposition is demanding very, very specific answers on that, this could be a repeat of the Balakot incident, where the Balakot strikes which happened earlier in 2019, when the opposition was asking for evidence in Balakot, that where did we strike? Do we have the evidence? Did this strike even ever take place? So the ruling party could now say that the Congress party has not learned the lesson from Balakot. It continues to question the bravery and the valor of our security forces, and that is why the opposition cannot be trusted, because the opposition here seems to be speaking the language of the Pakistan, and that is what is very, very clear. Also the US question, I would again come back to that, what Donald Trump has been repeatedly saying, but US has also designated the Resistance Front, proxy Lashkar-e-Toiba organization behind Pahalgam, as a terror outfit. So this is also something that India has taken a positive from the US steps post Operation Sindoor. But yes, US has also hosted the Pakistani Army Chief and Field Marshal Asim Munir at the White House for a rare meeting with Donald Trump, and India sees Asim Munir as the prime conspirator of the Pahalgam terror attack. That did not go down well with India. Subsequently, you've had US praising Pakistan's counter-terrorism efforts as well. This is all something that India could raise in Parliament as well, that when it comes to diplomacy, when it comes to counter-terrorism, India stands strong enough. It wants its global partners to also not have any double standards on global terrorism, condemn terrorism in every way, and would also urge the opposition to stand with the nation and not raise petty political points in the discussion on Operation Sindoor. Thank you so much, viewers, for joining us on this episode of Homework.